Hello, you're listening to Mike Madden on the Art Show podcast. Here you will find interviews with authors, musicians, artists and anyone else in and around the arts. Some of the interviews are taken direct from the Art Show on Expat Radio, with one or two specials in between. This show features Antoine from London-based French band Saults, talking about their success so far and the reason they relocated to London. There's also a preview of some of the shows we've got coming up in the next few weeks. Hello, this is Mike Madden on the Art Show on Expat Radio. Don't forget to check out our Facebook page and let us know where in the world you're listening to us. Now tonight I've got a very special guest, one of the leading up-and-coming bands that were originally based in France and now based in London. So welcome to the show, Antoine Saults of the band Saults.
Hi everyone, hiya.
Well, welcome to the show. I think this is the first time we've had your band on, and you're more than welcome. But you go back a long way musically, because I read somewhere that you first picked up a guitar at the age of 6. Was that your first influence of music, or were you aware of music before that?
Actually, so I picked up my first guitar when I was 6, but I don't remember well how I fell into music, because I was like so young, because I used to spend all my evenings when I was 2 or 3 years old watching live concert of Paul McCartney or of Eric Clapton or of Prince, and I used to spend all my evenings watching my heroes, so I don't remember how I fell into music, but I think that the guitar was my very first love, when I was 6, and it doesn't change, it doesn't change, because like the guitar is a part of me today, and obviously music is a part of me today, so yeah, that's it.
And your brother, your little brother Greg, who is also in the band, he was a drummer from a very early age too. So you must have driven your parents a bit mad with all this music.
Yeah, a little bit mad. Yeah. But when we started playing together, my parents were so happy, to see their two children's playing music together, and that was really important for them to see how happy we were and how happy we are today, playing music together. But yeah, since day one, because so I started when I was 7, and when Greg was 7, I was 10. Since day one, we used to play together. Since the first day that he learned how to play the drums, we used to play together all the time.
Now you've mentioned Paul McCartney and Eric Clapton, yeah. and obviously you listen to your heroes. And I think when I listen to the music which is described as funk pop rock, there's definitely a Beatles influence in there.
Yeah.
So would you say that they're your heaviest influence?
Yeah, clearly, because so Greg and I, we are big Beatles fan, like really big Beatles fan, and we are a big fan of Paul McCartney too, and I think that in our music, in this pop style, I think that I've got one side of Beatles, with all this UK pop music, all this Brit pop music with the Beatles, then Oasis, all these beautiful bands. And then on the other hand, I've got this big influence with Prince, because I'm a really big fan of Prince. So, and I think that I need all the time to mix between the Beatles and Prince into our own songs, and this is really important for me, because I think that these are my two big heroes here and my two big influences in my music,
Well, I think Prince is a very, very underrated guitarist. He was obviously known as a showman and a singer, but his guitar playing is actually very good too.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But that's the problem with Prince, because he he was always underrated, you know, and I think that many of these albums, you know, are really underrated, you know, especially the ones in the 90s, you know. I think that they are really underrated, you know, but because he wasn't as popular as Michael Jackson, you know, with all these TV shows, you know, but he was a showman, but a magnificent guitar player, yeah.
Yeah, I completely agree. And it's an odd mix because obviously the Beatles with their complex melodies came to the fore in the 60s. Prince more renowned for music in the 90s. So is there kind of anybody in between that stitches that together for you?
I mean, there are a lot of bands, you know, playing these influences, you know, but I don't know. Like this, I would rather say that we've got a more Brit pop side into our songs, like, you know, maybe Oasis, Queen, you know, all these British bands, you know, and that is why we came to London, you know, because all our culture and all our influences, our musical influences, came from London, you know, and that was obvious for us to come here, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I think you paint a great picture of the influences on the music. So I think our listeners are probably itching to hear one of your tracks. So I'm going to play this one, which is released from July 2019, and it's called On Our Way.
Yeah, thanks.
And we go now. Oh, on our way. Oh, on our way. Everybody, time to get on the fence. I have to leave your sins, yeah. Lay down your sheets. The master is that bitch. Cruise with perfect feet. This is gonna be lit. Oh, on our way. Yeah. Oh, on our way. Yeah, ready, boy. Get. Oh. With my brother, connection you will discount them. Yeah, try to catch the fire. Yesterday we were strangers, and now we are fucking players. Oh, on our way.
You're listening to Expat Radio. You're listening to Expat Radio, beaming out across France and around the world.
Okay, that was On Our Way from Saults, and you're listening to Mike Madden on the Art Show on Expat Radio. And my special guest tonight, as it happens, is Antoine Saults from the band Saults. So welcome back, Antoine.
Yeah, thanks, Mike. Thanks, appreciate it.
Now, we've already mentioned yourself and your little brother Greg, but you heard a guy called Axel Castet playing bass, and he kind of completed the band for you.
Yeah, actually, Axel is like a brother to us, you know. I came across Axel as I was getting on the stage in Bordeaux, in France. It's our hometown in France. And you know, I was completely in shock when I saw him playing the bass on stage, and I was like, all right, so I need to create a band with this guy. This is a big opportunity for us to play our song and to play with this guy, you know. And it's been 5-6 years that we've been playing together with Greg, Axel and I, and obviously with all these events around the band, you know, with all the history that we got together, he's like a brother to us, you know what I mean?
Yeah, who was he actually playing with? Because it's quite difficult in a modern band for a bass player to actually stand out. It's it's always the frontman or maybe the drummer with a solo, but bass players tend to sit in the background. So what was it about it that drew you towards him?
I think that at first he loved the song. He loved the song. He loved the band. He loved the sound of the band. That was really important for him. And I don't know, you know, sometimes with some people you get this connection, you know, and you can explain it. And I think that's what happened with Axel and I, you know, because we had a connection on one night, and we were like, all right, so we need to create a band together. That was a duty for us to do that, you know. And because at first he was a guitar player, and so then he took the bass because we needed a bass player, and he just started the bass 6 months before the creation of Saults. But then he was really happy and he was really proud to be part of the adventure, you know. And then at the end, when we created our first EP, you know, with our first singles, and then we came to London, you know. When I said to him, man, we gotta leave our hometown, we gotta leave our family, our friends, and we gotta go to London right now because this is where the magic is gonna happen. And he was like, yeah, let's do it. Let's do it, you know. And this is only the history that we got together, you know, because this is a big adventure to be on board with Saults. And Axel was completely in it, you know.
So, and it's obviously it comes across very strongly that the chemistry between you is perfect for the band, both with Greg and Axel. And do you think that shapes the band so that you are a three-piece band, or because it would be very, very difficult to introduce another band member with the same chemistry?
So at first, when we started in France, we had 5 members when we were in France. But then, you know, when we decided to move to London, you know, some choices had to be made, and the 2 other guys decided to stay in France. And so the chemistry was growing stronger when we made that choice to be here in London. But then we decided that we needed to change some little things into the band, especially when we are on stage, you know. And so actually it's quite simple because we got another drummer on stage because Greg is starting playing the drums, so Axel on bass, me on guitar, And so we started the show as a three-piece band, and then at the middle of the show, Greg is taking the piano because he's playing the keyboard too, and he's playing at the frontman with me on the front of the stage, and then we got another drummer playing for us, but he's not in the band, he's like an additional musician for us, and this is just the perfect chemistry for us today to play our songs on stage.
Yeah, and you first sort of hit some success in around 2015-16 across Europe, particularly obviously in France.
Yeah.
And you released an EP video of I Wanna Jam.
Yeah.
That must have been an exciting time to get your first release actually out there in the world. Was that done by yourselves, or did you have an agent or a management company to help out?
Actually, we've done everything by ourselves. This first EP, we recorded everything with a friend of mine in France, in our hometown, and then we decided to go on tour on our own. We decided to do our shows on our own, because I gotta be honest, because nobody wanted to work with us in France. No management company, no agents wanted to work with us in France. And so we were 19 at that time, between 19 and 20. And that was really, really hard, because we had this EP, we had these new songs, and nobody wanted to just get a shout for us. So that was really, really hard. And this is also one of the main reasons why we decided to leave France and to go to London to get much more opportunities for the band,
Yeah, you did have some success in France though, because I did see that you opened for Julian Peretta in Agen, and there was 10,000 people there. So how did that come about, and were you somewhat nervous in front of 10,000 people?
Actually, we were a little bit nervous, of course, because that was just amazing, and especially that was in our hometown, and that was the last show before we came to London. So this show was really, really big, really important, and because all our fans were there, and they were like, oh, so this is maybe the last time that we're going to see them, and what a show! We played 50 minutes, and that was like, one of the best show ever. Like even today, I can watch the videos and I'm like, good. That was really, really good, a really good gig, And what a way to end our tour and to end our our history with these first singles and with this first EP.
Yeah, and it's a great way to leave on a high like that. And obviously, I'm sure you have kept in touch with your fans back in France. But you relocated to London in 2017 to further your ambitions. In the early days over there, were there ever any doubts that you'd done the right thing?
Yeah, because like I said, the British culture is really a part of our culture, because our parents were always listening to British bands, to American bands, and that was obvious for us, because since I was a child, I only listened to British bands, only these guys, and I was only inspired by this rock sound, by all these beautiful songs, by all the British spirits, and this is clearly thanks to my parents, but that was hard, because the first year was really, really hard, because we came to London, into one of the biggest cities in the world, and we knew nobody. We were like alone here with the bass, the guitar, the drums, with all our instruments, and we were like, all right, so we need to find a job, we need to find gigs, and we need to play. And that was just so hard, because we had to leave everything behind. We had to leave our best friend, we had to leave our parents, our family, our home, and that was a really hard first year, but I think that all the time we were like, so this is worth it, this is worth it, because we we can already see the light at the end of the tunnel, and that was really important to be in the band during these moments of your life. That was really important, and I can thank them enough, Greg and Axel, to be here for me and to be here for the band, every day.
Yeah, and I suppose in 2017, as it is today, there's so many more ways to get music out there, with downloads, and it's not CDs and it's not vinyl. Well, it is, but downloads seem to be the way forward, which also means there's a lot more competition. So do you see it as a bit of a dog-eat-dog situation, or do you find other bands helping you?
I think that it's a great year to be in the band or to be a musician, and to getting your songs out there, I think that this is great here, and the best example that I've got, it's when Pete Townsend from The Who sent me a message on Instagram, because we were like releasing the second single of the last year, so that was Getting Over at that time, and so I posted a video on the Instagram of the band, and like 20 minutes later, I received a DM from a guy, and he was like, "Wow, this is really magical. I like the sound. I like the energy. This is really, really great." And the guy signed Pete Townsend from The Who, and I was like, "Man, this is not possible. It's not possible that Pete Townsend is writing to us. Like, this is not possible." And so I checked his Instagram, and I was like, "Man, is it really, really you?" And he was like, "Yeah, it's really, really me." And I was like, "Man, this is magic, This is magic." And I think that this is where the magic happens, with all the social medias, with Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Spotify. It's people like Pete Townsend, legend like Pete Townsend, can hear your sound, and I think that it's a great tool for every musician and every band today to be hearing live in 2020,
Yeah, well, I think Getting Over, if it's good enough for Pete Townsend, it's good enough for us. So I think we'll go to another break now and play Getting Over by Saults.
Yeah, man, that's what I told you earlier. I just can't get it off my mind. Like this. I've already lost my eyes, baby, yeah. I have because I wanna be a ghost for you, baby. Party's over, but hangover. We've had some fun, but does what it wants flip me over. Drive too fast, you jump too high. I'm out of breath, don't jump 'cause I fell. Got us defense with arrogance. We don't need to share where circles are square. You dress your fancy, your brain is empty. I feel such fool, I just these rules, but for me. Drive too fast, you jump too high. I'm out of breath, don't jump 'cause I fell. I tried to find you, stop me in the glance. Won't have you down, now love is gone. How many answers? But it's better. Don't ask me to change, I don't wanna cringe. Bloody creature. No more kisses, yeah. No more wishes, yeah, yeah. You don't play the game, it's always the same, and ain't over. Come on, baby, hit me. Always like this, always. Getting over, come on, girl. Dance, dance. Getting over, fun, baby. Getting over, yeah. Alright, yeah. Show me your love. Getting right now.
You're tuned in to Expat Radio.
Oh, we're back on air. This is Mike Madden on the Arts Show on Expat Radio. And don't forget to visit our Facebook page and tell us where you're listening from. You've just been listening to Getting Over by Saults. And we've got as our special guest tonight, Antoine Saults. So welcome back to the show, Antoine.
Yeah, thanks, Mike. Hi, everyone.
Now, Getting Over is not one of your latest songs because part of it, the funky guitar riff, was something that you wrote at the age of about 14.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you're right. Wait, yeah. When I was 14, that was one of my first guitar riffs when I was 14, and so the song changed a lot throughout the years. But yeah, I'm so proud, that one of my earliest songs is still a single for the band today. I'm really, really proud of it. Yeah.
And do you have sort of these guitar riffs running around your head, and you just sort of, they come out every now and again, you throw some lyrics at them, and all of a sudden you've got a song?
Absolutely. When I was younger, because I started when I was maybe 10 or 11. I started writing my own songs when I was really, really young, and I've got some melodies around my head, and then I can start writing, and it's really important for me to write all the time. If I can't write, I can't live. This is simple as that. So it's really important for me to write all the time, to write new materials, new songs all the time. This is the way I really love to live.
There's some very interesting lyrics as well. So where do you get the inspiration for the lyrics? Is it just everyday things, or do you actually have to sit down and think, I'm going to write a song about whatever?
Actually, I really love writing about my everyday life, and all the events that I've got in my life. I gotta be honest. I'm much more comfortable writing using the first person, because when I'm writing a song, I really need to be into the song, to live the song. It's really important for me. So, and to live the song, I need to write about things about my life, and things that I've encountered in my life, And but then one of the artists that inspire me the most about the lyrics is Bruce Springsteen. I'm a really big fan of Springsteen and all these on the road vibes, like Born to Run or all these great songs. And I think that he was one of my many heroes about lyrics and about songs.
One of your biggest achievements back then must have been the win at Yamaha Studios in their Funk It Up. So how did you get involved in that?
Well, actually, that was simple, because I saw a Facebook event on Facebook, and I was like, all right, so yeah, let's do it, guys. So it had been like just 3 months that we've been here in London. I was like, all right, so let's do this, guys. We gotta just do something about it. And so and we won the prize. And I was really surprised by winning this prize, And then Yamaha gave us a chance to play at the Love Supreme Jazz Festival. That was just amazing because we played them alongside bands like Earth, Wind & Fire. That was just an amazing festival and an amazing experience for us.
Would you say that's one of your highlights, the Love Supreme Festival?
Yeah, clearly, clearly. Because, we're still a young band, and, when we played Love Supreme, we were like 21 at that time. 21, Greg was 18 at that time. So, that was one of the main highlights for us to be part of the Love Supreme Jazz Festival.
You also recorded Kelly Ride at the Abbey Road Studios, which of course has got huge Beatles connotations. Was that a deliberate decision to go to Abbey Road?
Actually, a friend of mine had his cousin working as a sound engineer at Abbey Road Studios. So we were like, okay, man, so I'm a big Beatles fan. I want this sound, and I want to record it at Abbey Road Studios. And he was like, all right, so I got two opportunities here. So we can record the song in 2 days. Is that okay for you? And I was like, yeah, come on, let's do it, And yeah, that was amazing and I gotta say, maybe the most exciting experience in my life, because some of my friends back in front didn't believe us about making a song at Abbey Road, and but on the other hand, we didn't have much time to tell ourselves, oh my God, we are into the studio of the Beatles, and we are going to make it sound good in this place, because we only had 2 days to record the song, and we had to be really, really efficient in terms of recording. So, but yeah, that was maybe one of the most exciting experiences in my life. Yeah, clearly.
And when you recorded Kelly Ride, that aired on BBC local radio and London stations. And although that's local, they've got huge audiences, these things. So did you get good feedback from those?
Yeah, really good feedback. And maybe the better feedback was when I received an email from our current manager, Matt Goodham, because now it's been like 1 year that I've been working with him. And actually, he discovered us when he was watching London Live TV when we were aired on television, So that was maybe the better feedback that we need to get from the band, because, yeah, it gave us the opportunity to work with a guy like Matt Goodham, our current manager, And this is one of the best things that ever happened to the band.
And Matt's also done some production for you as well, hasn't he?
Yeah, absolutely. We worked together to record the EP together. Yeah.
Right, and is he adjusting your sound to make it more like the Beatles or less like the Beatles?
I think that it was clear, like when we met him. I've got old songs, and he was like, all right, so I really love Kelly Ride, guys. I really loved it, and I really want to work with you, but I need new songs, So I was like, first I gave him like 4 or 5 old songs, And one month later we had some lunch together, and he told me that it was cool, but we didn't have the songs, and we needed to create bigger songs. I was like, all right, so I need to do something about it, because I was really angry about the thing that I didn't have the song at that time. So I came home and I wrote "Leave Me Then," the last single of the EP. I wrote "Leave Me Then" and was like, all right, so, and I need to to get these new songs into 2020, because we maybe if we've got all these influences, all these old influences like the Beatles or Prince or Springsteen or whatever, I need to make it sound like it was recorded in 2020. So, and I think that he brought this modern way to and this modern vibe to the band, and that's one of the most important thing I think today to be into the area to get on radios and to get more airplays or whatever, and to be in 2020, it's really important for us.
Yeah, and I guess the Beatles could work against you. I know some people have described you as the London Beatles, even though you're French. But
yeah.
Is it something that you'll eventually want to try and throw away that moniker, because the Beatles are, they're sort of perennial, but they are 60s, and you have to be a 2020 band.
Yeah, and that was at first really, really hard, because we needed to listen to modern bands and to 2020 bands, and that was really, really hard. But I think that when I was it was like maybe 3 years ago. It was after the first EP, because we recorded the first EP, and I was like, all right, so this is cool, but this is too old-fashioned. The songs are too old-fashioned. The sound is maybe a little bit too old-fashioned, and we need to change that. But it took years for me to get into this new sound, this new pop sound. And yeah, it took me years, but now I think that that we get it, and we're going to create new songs about the 2020 sound, and I think we don't have to we have to keep in mind where the influences came from, but we have also to keep in mind that we are in 2020, and we got to create our own sound in 2022,
Yeah. Now, obviously, we spoke about Pete Townsend and the Instagram message, but he's also gone public with it because he named the band as a personal favourite in Music Week, no less, and compared you to the 1975. So I think that's praise indeed. And looking at that kind of thing, is there anybody that you would think, we're moving up now? Would love to share a stage with? Who would it be?
To share a stage with, wow. I think that with the Who and Pete Townsend, that could be amazing. Just to open for these guys, that could be just amazing. But it's really really hard to open for the Who. It's really really hard. But I'd rather say Pete Townsend, the Who. But I also maybe also Bruno Mars, because we are big fan of Bruno Mars, and could be just amazing to share a stage with this guy. Really.
Well, you never know. The London music scene attracts all sorts. So, where do you play now? What are your favourite venues around London?
Oh, man, this is really hard because we play maybe in 70 different venues throughout the 3 first years. So I know that we're going to play the Dublin Castle in 1 week, and then we're going to play at the Fiddler Elbows in Camden at the end of the month on the 31st of January. And I think that Camden is a great scene for rock, for rock music and for pop rock music. I think that Camden is really really great scene, because
it's got a great history, Camden, in terms of music.
Yeah, and that's why it's so popular, and that's why everything can happen in Camden,
And we touched before on the way things are different these days. So, what does a musical release mean to you? So, how do you get an EP out there?
Today it's really really hard to sold CDs. It's really really hard, but when we are in 2020, so we can use every streaming platforms like Spotify, Deezer, iTunes, and I think that today the most important thing is to release singles. I think that it's really important for every band and every artist to get new singles all the time, and the most important thing too is to create and to get new songs all the time. It's really important. Now we gotta stay low for a little bit because we had a rough year in 2019, with all these new singles, this new EP, so that was a crazy year for us. So now we gotta stay low for a little bit. But the new songs are coming, and couple of months, I think that we will be able to get new songs out there really soon.
And you've got a brand new single out in January called "Leave Me Then," I believe.
Yeah, absolutely.
So is that available on all those platforms today?
Yeah, absolutely. You can listen on like I said, Spotify, Deezer, YouTube, because we made a video clip of "Leave Me Then." So everybody can listen to the song today. Yeah.
Well, we're running out of time, so we will play out with that song. But before we go, you've been a wonderful guest, and now it's your turn to sell yourself. So just tell our listeners where they can find out a little bit more about Saults.
Absolutely. And so you can find more about the band on our website, saultsmusic.com, but also on every social medias, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, on every streaming platform, Spotify, Deezer, iTunes. And take a look.
Yeah, it is well worth it, as you've already heard. Just to clear just to clarify, it is Saults, Saults.
Absolutely, yeah.
London-based, but with French roots. And we're going to play out with their single. So thank you very much, Antoine. You've been a wonderful guest.
Thanks a lot, Mike. Thanks a lot for this interview. That was really wonderful. Thanks a lot, mate.
That's all right. And this song is Leave Me Then by Saults.
Don't need to fight again, there's no room for pain. Well, the truth that we always shared, did it go away? So I need your love, baby, more than ever. It's for the better. So I needed before, I wanted more. And nothing left to say. Leave me then. Give us some time and figure it out. Leave me then. And nothing left to say. Leave me then. Give us some time and figure it out. Set the tone, 'cause you broke my heart. Was it written in the stone that this love would fall? So I need your love, baby, more than ever. It's for the better. So I needed before, I wanted more. And nothing left to say. Leave me then. Give us some time and figure it out. Leave me then. And nothing left to say. Leave me then. Give us some time and figure it out. To say, leave me then. Oh, so give me some time to figure it out. Leave me then. And nothing left to say, Leave me then. Oh yeah, give me some time and figure it out. Oh, leave me then. Come on and stay there.
Expat Digital Radio, online 24/7.
This is Mike Madden on Expat Radio, and don't forget to check out our Twitter, the Arts Show 1, and let us know where you're listening in from. Now, that was Saults, the London-based French band, who are known as the London Beatles. Look forward to hearing more from Saults in the next few weeks. Now, though, it's preview time, and we've got some great guests lined up for the next few weeks. Starting off with Welsh wizard Tony Maz and his band Razzmatazz. Tony's very passionate about his music, so let's hear him now with his song, Moving On.
Way. Only know I do.
your heart to think I'll soon be gone. Moving on, moving on, moving on, moving on.
You're listening to Expat Radio. You're listening to Expat Radio, beaming out across France and around the world.
This is Mike Madden on the Art Show on Expat Radio. That was Tony Maz and Razzmatazz moving on. I look forward to hearing Tony in the next few weeks with a full show of his own. Also coming up is John Andrew Frederick from the Black Watch. John came on the show last year, and he's got another album out this year. So let's jump straight into the title track of Brilliant Failures.
Brilliant. demonstrate, help us all to contemplate. It's not a bad thing, don't forget it. There's beauty in one's each defeat. Without it, life seems incomplete. Those brilliant failures, all you've ever only known are brilliant failures. All you've ever only known are brilliant failures.
Expat Digital Radio, online 24/7.
That was the Black Watch, Brilliant Failures, from their album of the same name. And John Frederick from Black Watch will be on the show in the next couple of weeks. We've also got one of our old favourites, Caroline England, coming back on to tell us about her latest book, Convictions, under a different name. There's also Steve Harley, author Brian Finney, Dr. Jane Alexander, and so many more. And one of the stars, I think, is going to be Susie Quattro, so watch out for her. We're now going to go back to last year, and we had the wonderful Reckless Eric on the show, talking about his latest album, Transience. So that's all there is from me for this week. This is Reckless Eric and Dead End.
There's a sign at the top of our street. Dead end, dead end, dead end. What we see when we come home. Dead end, dead end, dead end. It's like the end of the world. The end of the world as we know it now. Past is
You've been listening to the Arts Show podcast with Mike Madden. Come back soon for more artists, authors, musicians and anyone else connected with the arts. We're going to play out with Mike Sanchez and I Don't Stand a Chance.
Baby, you hiding something that you don't want me to know, because I'm getting a vibe from way down inside, like you're just about ready to go. And you can't tell me where you stayed last night. You just can't cope with treating me right. I'm on the road to heartbreak. Now's the time to tell me so, because I'm getting a chill like I'm gonna be ill. I know you don't want me no more. I won't be satisfied with your little white lies. Girl, I've only just begun to realize I don't stand a chance. I don't stand a chance. You don't wanna know and I can't make you dance. Well, I said goodbye. Find yourself another guy. I wish you were mine, but I'm losing my mind. I don't stand a chance. Now's the time to tell me so, because I'm getting a chill like I'm gonna be ill. I know you don't want me no more. I won't be satisfied with your little white lies. Girl, I've only just begun to realize I don't stand a chance. No, I don't stand a chance. You don't wanna know and I can't make you dance. Well, I'll say goodbye. Find yourself another guy. I wish you were mine, but I'm losing my mind. I don't stand a chance.